This is the Power Producers Podcast, where we are refining and redefining the sales game.
Rule number 1 is you have to believe in yourself. You're the only one who doesn't think you belong in this appointment. The prospect has already validated your existence by scheduling time with you. Get it through your head you belong here, go in there, crush it, and close the deal.
A place where sales professionals can come to learn from other sales professionals and thought leaders that have mastered their craft.
The difference between a good salesperson and a best-in-class salesperson is only 2 minutes. By spending an extra 2 minutes on what you might think is a mundane task in the sales game, you separate yourselves from the pack, you grow your book of business, you close more deals, and you retain your accounts.
As well as their peers who are still striving for perfection to achieve their why.
I have a wife and 4 kids. Failure is not an option.
Real sales professionals, real stories, real results. Are you ready to feel the power?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Power Producers Podcast, where we are refining and redefining the sales game. I tell you sometimes that we have an electric guest. I don't even know that there's an adjective on the face of the earth that can describe this clown that we have on here today. Mr. Bryan Mccall from the state of Oklahoma, contestant on season 2 of the Protege. This guy likes Victoria's Secrets, guns, and selling insurance. I don't know where this thing's going, but I have been looking forward to this one for a long time. What's up, man?
Hey, it's all good in the hood, baby. How are you?
Yeah, you little bit of vehicle difficulties, huh?
Oh, they can't get their heads out of their rear ends, so to speak. So, hey, but I'm mobile again, and I'm so happy to be here. I did not want to put this off any longer because I really feel very fortunate to not only be a part of this journey, but to be able to talk to you guys. It's fantastic.
Hey, man, good things come to people who come on the podcast. Ask Josh Gurley. It changed his life.
Yeah, man.
That's the truth. So listen, man, before we get into, I know your backstory for the most part because you had to tell it to me to get into the Protege, but why don't you get everybody else kind of caught up on what's led to you getting into the commercial insurance game, and then we're just going to roll from there.
Yeah, you bet. So started off life as a financial professional. Anybody can look me up on my CRD because I'm still active slightly. But got into personal lines insurance and in New York State. And for the last 21, 22 years, I've been teaching other agents and financial professionals how to sell. Still doing it myself all along the way. And finally got that opportunity to step out of management after many years of not playing nice in the sandbox, so to speak. I don't play politics too well, but survived for that long and decided to step out on my own, took over another agency that now we've celebrated, if I can do my math right, 18, 19 years.
Don't forget to carry the 9.
Yeah, there you go. Not divided by naught is not, yeah. So, had to establish, so I wasn't risking too much because it had a little bit of an established track record, but we were pretty settled.
Dude, risk sucks, man. Risk sucks.
Exactly. That's why you got to overcome it, baby. RiskSucks.com, coming to a website near you. Commercial's always been that hidden gem. I really like to swing for the fences. And everything that I do, I like to go large. I'm like live and large.
Never would have guessed.
Never would have guessed, right? As one of my teammates would tell you, Sean, he loved the fact that I have a T-shirt cannon. So, in fact, I just put the order in. We're doing homecoming in the local town, Sand Springs, Oklahoma. Look it up on your map. Big and improved.
What kind of range you get on that bad boy?
They say that I can get it up into the 10th or 11th level. So
is that with or without modifications?
No modifications. It just depends on what type of air take. I'll pull it out later. If you guys take a break, I'll pull it out and show it to you guys later for sure.
So listen, that's what she said. But anyhow, in all seriousness, I've been just getting softballs lobbed up the last couple episodes.
It's been at least 4 or 5. That's what she says in the last 24 hours.
I know, and they're just perfectly placed and timed. But I've actually been shopping for the old T-shirt cannon because because I like when I do my speaking gigs, I'd love to just enter the
That would be
arena
sick, actually.
with a T-shirt cannon, just
firing
blasting the
them.
audience, just crushing them. And what I found is that there's actually like an automatic T-shirt cannon that you can fit like 8 or 12 T-shirts in. It's on a wheel. So as quick as I can pull, it's like a semi-automatic. As quick as I can pull the trigger, it's firing T-shirts.
Dude,
like,
you need to go akimbo on that piece and just have them just dual wield, let it rip.
I was just thinking.
I have this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have this thing where I've always just thought it would be really, really cool to go out with a T-shirt cannon in each arm and just fire. Just
That's what I'm saying.
both hands at the same time.
Yeah, akimbo.
100%. Yeah, akimbo. Yeah, you're defining it for us now, Kyle. Thank you so much.
You got it. I only know that from Call
I
of
thought
Duty.
you were talking about Kimbo. I thought you were talking about Kimbo Slice, man.
Nah, that
I don't know
guy's
what you're
dead.
talking about.
Is he?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So probably like 10 years ago.
Baby
I'm actually
Slice.
going to look that up right now. It's been a
Baby
while.
Slice is fighting now over in Bellator. His son, Baby Slice.
Yeah, get the old dual wield going and fire them bitches off.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'll have to find the place I got it from, but they are, I think it's, tshirtgun.com.
Oh, yeah, no, I've looked everywhere, man, and
Yeah.
they run anywhere. Like, they could get pretty expensive. Like, I saw one that was like $2,500.
Yeah, mine's the, I'm looking it up right now, Bleacher Reacher Pro.
I'm very familiar with that model.
Yeah, that's the one you want to count.
I almost bought that. I legitimately almost bought that before Innovation in Tampa.
No kidding. Oh, that would have been a hit, man. You would have knocked like the guy on the second row over in his chair, if it hit him.
Yes.
But I can get 4 T-shirts if they're wadded up the right way, and it'll shoot all 4 up into at least 4th, 5th level of bleachers. So at one time.
Oh, you shoot them all at one time? What kind
You
of spread
can.
do you get on that? Is that like
Yeah.
a bird shot?
What's the
or is it
dispersion
more of
on
a
that?
closer grouping? Yeah.
Yeah, dispersion's about 5 to 10 foot. Not like that, yeah.
It's like
But the
David's
bleachers,
driver.
I guess enough good things. Shout out to tshirtgun.com, and I'm looking, like David said, I'd like to double fist it. So if you'd like to send one my way, Sand Springs, Oklahoma, look me up. I'll take a second, and Dave will take a
There
third.
you go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
2016 for Kimbo Slice, by the way. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Yep. Dude, that guy sucked in the UFC, but my goodness, was he nasty in a Miami backyard.
Jeez, he's terrifying.
Oh,
yeah.
You ain't kidding. That video, I know what you're talking about. He just beats the hell out of people.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one where he knocked the guy's eyeball out of his head?
No, but I
Like
think
I
was
showed
looking
this
it
to
up
Grayson.
pretty
I
soon.
talked to Grayson about this earlier, like when he was younger, and I was like, "You're never gonna believe this, but this guy Kimbo Slice punches a guy so hard that he breaks the orbital bone and his eyeballs hanging out of his head."
God.
And I showed him. It's on YouTube. You can see it.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Yeah. I love
I
where
used
this
to love-
conversation is going, man. I'm so jacked right now. Where's my monster drink? Where's my Rockstar, man? My God,
Get it,
getting it to it, man.
dude. I was gonna drink this Celsius, but I may just take I've got like a whole box of packs right here, and I may just pour them out on my
Snort the pack.
desktop and just run lines of Celsius powder. Just for no reason. just to get absolutely silly on the podcast.
Hey, have you guys? So I know you guys have kind of had a week of it. Where am I at in
Man,
the
we-
8? Like, have you done all 5 already? Have you done 6, 7 people so far from the show?
You're kind of middle of the pack, I
Middle
would
of the pack?
say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Kyle's not even been on the
I feel like
majority
most of
them
those have
because
been
I
on Monday. And I was out of town.
Yeah, and I purposely did it that way.
I wouldn't have
We've
too
had-
much to contribute.
No,
anyhow.
because Kyle's not really involved with what I do with Protege at all. So it's kind of like, hey, third wheel, great question, completely
Yeah.
irrelevant to this
Cool.
season.
Right.
But no, we've had Abby as a guest. We've had Ryan Smith. We've had
Yeah.
Sean Kirby.
And
You're
that's
number
what I was
4,
getting at.
man.
I love that guy. That kid, man. It's so
Which
funny.
one?
It was Sean Kirby. Right,
Oh, yeah.
and of course, Ryan Smith's in my backyard. Haven't met the guy face to face yet, but when we do, it's gonna be a throwdown. Let me tell you. No, I'm just teasing. But
This is
Sean,
coming from a guy that's got cheetah print pillows on his man cave couch, so he's serious. He's got the matching
You're doing it
Speedo
right,
to
baby.
prove it.
Right. Yeah, you are in the Protege Lounge now. Easy listening at Yacht Rock 105.5. But he was messaging me on the LinkedIn app, and I wasn't responding. And he's like, dude, are you getting these messages? Like, I want you to go watch this podcast. And I didn't know that Mitch, Ryan, Sean, and somebody else, they all four talk about
Lugo. Jonathan Lugo every time.
It's so hard to forget that nice guy. But anyway, he said, I want you to watch it. And I was like, dude, I got things to do. But I watched it, and he was just so kind to me because they were talking about what they thought their strengths were and who was really doing a good job on the Protege. And Mitch says, oh, of course, Sean, you're going to say yourself, and everybody might think that because, Sean's a pretty confident guy as well. And he was really saying,
and he talks a lot. He talks a lot of smack. Like his smack talk game is through the roof.
Yeah, which I love, by the way. Love you, Sean. But anyway, he said some really nice things about me and talked about the T-shirt gun and just said he's going to miss all of our group sessions that we would do together because I don't talk about strategy one bit. I'm just like off the walls, bouncing off the walls.
Why do you have to stop?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, hopefully we'll keep it going. But, everybody's kind of in that focus mode right now where they're trying to crank everything out as much as possible. We're going and visiting as many people, trying to get them to sign as many, forms as we possibly can. So I get it. It's a little intense right now. But when it calms down, dude, he's going to be a friend for life. Love that guy. Love talking with him. And, of course, Sedlak and, Derek. I mean, my goodness. I kept telling Derek once I got on the team, I was like, you knew I wanted to be on your team, right? You saw from my video, pick me, Derek, through the whole thing,
Hayden's a good one, man. It's funny because I actually have him on the docket. Kyle's leaving to go to Hawaii, so I'm going to do a couple of solo episodes while he's gone so that we can continue the backlog. Yeah. But I'm doing a year later with Derek Hayden here next week. So.
Oh, nice.
That's so awesome. He's just such a good dude, and he's got his own things going now too. In fact, he just included me in a group that he's charging for, and he said, dude, I want you in there. So it's just, I feel very blessed, very thankful. And like another reason why I like Sean, right? So I kept telling the guys, I said, listen, social media, really not for me. I mean, for 50 years, I've avoided social media. And Sean goes, Brian, he goes, social media hasn't been around 50 years. I was like, oh yeah, it's just me. Right. Yeah, I got you, man. So it keeps me on my toes. But, there's ways, everybody has to find their own niche and their own way to work things and really make it work for them. And, the way I go about things is totally different than, like you said, a Jonathan Lugo or maybe a Ryan Smith. Now, Ryan Smith, I got to tell you, love you, Ryan. But, man, when I can't sleep at night, I put on your session out like a baby. Just, man, that monotone voice.
Hey, listen, man, if he doesn't get you in the first
15, 16 minutes, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if he doesn't get you in the first 5, he'll get you in the other 25.
But that was the best part of like watching the round table between the 4 guys that Mitch, heads up, and Ryan's on there, and they were talking about episode 5 or challenge 5 or challenge 6. I can't remember. I want to say challenge 5. And he goes, yeah, he told me it was too long, and I was really going on and on and on, and it was just funny, The poor guy was beating himself up, And I wanted to tell him, like, did you see my jacket? I mean, my God, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's okay.
For everybody listening, if you didn't see the episode of Protege, Mr. Mcall put on a sport coat for some role play. And part of my feedback to him was he probably should take his jacket to the cleaners and have it pressed prior to going on an appointment because it literally looked like he yanked it out of his trunk or wadded up in the back.
It's been on his couch there next to the cheetah print pillow.
Yeah, before the thing. Then I read it. Then I hear, having these podcasts with other Protege contestants is fun because they rat everybody else out, right? So like a couple days later, I get this random LinkedIn message with a picture of a personal, like this little compartment at Costco that's a couple $1,000s or whatever, but you can hang like 5 suits in it and it will steam them wrinkle-free so they're ready for you to go on your appointment. This is a consumer-based product you can have in your home.
Yeah.
And then I find out,
it works
it may have
awesome.
been last week, I think Sean Kirby's the one who ratted you out, as a matter of fact. And he's like, well, listen, man, Mcall don't even have that jacket anymore. He left the tags on it so he could take it back as soon as he was done with the
I don't
video.
even own a jacket anymore. Well, I take that back. The one jacket where I sent you, we did the Christmas at the office where I had Santa come in and we were, taking pictures free for everybody. That one suede-looking brown jacket, I kept that. But you can't wear that out. It's hot as hell. Who the hell wants to wear a suede jacket out
Dude, it's
anywhere,
like
right?
900 degrees in Oklahoma right
Oh,
now. I can't even imagine.
Did you hear Sylvester Stallone? He's filming a movie here?
Yeah, I saw it.
Hotter than hell in Oklahoma. This is what
I don't
hell's
remember if it
actually
was
like.
you. It may have been. It was either you or Jim Stout had something posted on social where it was Stallone in Twitter basically just saying, I may never see hell, but I know what it feels like after being in Oklahoma. Or something along those lines. I mean,
so
look,
true.
man.
Well, dude, like, so
We
the
are flying-
PGA championship was there in Tulsa at Southern
got
Hills. Yeah, but it was in the 90s on Friday, and then on Saturday it was in the 50s, and Sunday was in the 50s as well. It was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
We got so lucky that those guys didn't melt actually on the grounds,
Yeah.
because cool front came through. Actually, I think it's 100. It's going to be 107 today. But there's a cool front. It's going to start raining either tomorrow night.
But
or
it's
tomorrow
dry
morning.
though, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
Okay, because I mean, like it's hot
not
down
the heat,
here
it's
and
the humidity.
humid. Yeah, that's what kills us down here. But at least we have like a Gulf breeze. You guys don't have a Gulf breeze.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. When I moved back, see, I grew up in Oklahoma. I was in New York almost 15 years. And when we moved back in 2010, it was July, it was like, kid you not, I don't know why they're not talking about this, 114 degrees.
It's gross.
And I was like, it was never this hot. But then the next year it was a little hotter. It's hard to believe that. But then after that, it got cooler again. So this is a weird heat wave we're having. Makes things miserable, but...
But I can remember being a kid, and it used to get really, really hot in the central part of the country. So, I mean, it's not like it's never happened before. I can remember, like, the St. Louis Cardinals playing in the temperature on field when they were playing at the old Busch Stadium with AstroTurf was like 130
the
degrees.
turf.
Oh,
Dude,
good.
that
Because
stuff
it
is
was like-
crazy.
Yeah, the turf.
Yeah, because of the turf, man. It's absolutely nuts. And so it's always weird because people think, oh, you live in Florida, it must be really hot there. And, we go to Key West a lot, well known. People think it's even hotter there. It's actually cooler in Key West than it is in Tampa
Windy.
because of the breeze you have going across the island by 5 to 7 degrees every day. But we're supposed to fly up to Kansas City Friday afternoon, and we're going to go to George Strait at Arrowhead Saturday night.
Nice.
I don't know what I'm going to wear, man.
Have you been to Arrowhead before?
No.
I've heard it's like insanely cool. It'll be different for a concert than a football game, obviously, but I've heard that it's just a really cool place.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'll let you know. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in the coolest of cool places in Arrowhead because my good friends at IPFS were kind enough to extend the invitation for me to be in their suite.
Hey-o.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you, Davey
There you
Holt. You're a
go.
good man for that. I only finance several $1 million of premium with you every year, so I'd like to think I've earned my opportunity, but whatever.
But he repays the favor. He's a good man. Good man.
No, absolutely.
Which I haven't seen the belt that you've got for the Protege winner that IPS has actually funded. Is that somewhere around the studio there, or the IPS winner belt, the Protege?
You were in it, right? You were in the studio at one point. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't go through your things though, Dave. You know what I'm saying? I just Oh, there we go. There we go. I could see. I don't know if you get your ears on now. I could see Kyle being your Mean Gene Okerlund. They're like, all right, brothers, you ready for the big show tonight? What's going on here?
Pandemonium's broken loose in Valrico, Florida, people.
It's a solid
Hey, how
belt
about
too.
this,
That thing's
man? How
got
about
some
after-
weight to it.
Dude, let me tell you something right now. I've seen a lot of belts produced. This son of a bitch has some girth.
Yeah, I was
Like,
surprised
there's
when
no
I picked that
games
thing
being
up.
played.
She said,
Right, that's fun.
Oh, hey, oh. But listen, this is the bottom line. Whoever gets this, if you're going to hang it up somewhere, you need hollow wall anchors because this is not something that is just going to stick to your walls.
Well, you know, if it were me, I'd be wearing it all around town. What are you talking about? Every talk show I'd go on, I'd have it on. I'd sleep with it. What are you talking about? Hanging on a wall.
Just carry it into Publix for an 8-piece chicken satchel and some Gouda mac and cheese. Just wear it around, and nobody's gonna question why, right? People may ask you for your autograph and not even know why they're asking you for it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I think based on your action, I think it would be even better if I got out of my truck and every time I did, I just did that. And it gave you the highlight of the belt. But here, this is actually relevant to nothing, but when we –
But everything.
If you remember Ric Flair obviously was an innovation, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just saw in the news this morning he's doing his final wrestling match. He's actually coming back and wrestling, and it was on the news. And, like, the people like –
He's
Flair,
77
you're like
years old.
over 70 years old. I mean, there's got to be some concern here. And he's like, no, baby. He's doing like 1,000 air squats a day to get in shape. Like, he looked like a completely different dude, man. Ric Flair's been training. I don't know if he still lives at Marriott Waterside, every night. But he looked like he was in better
73
shape.
years old.
And I'm just thinking to myself, my God, this guy's – well, here's the deal, man. Ric Flair needs some money. Like, that's the only reason at 70-some years old you would be coming back. Flair, you and I had it out one time over the phone when you were in Tampa, and I'm calling you out right now. This ain't your last match. If you want a piece of this, you come and get it. That's the second professional athlete I've called out on the Power Producers podcast. The first one was the big unit, Randy Johnson.
Randy Johnson.
And I got to tell you, man, I've seen him on some recent commercials, and that guy's looking real rough.
Was he in the Ghostbusters one with Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yes. I didn't even recognize him. I
Well,
didn't know that was
dude,
him.
Ken Griffey Jr. looks fat as hell, too. I mean, and I... Oh, God.
Here he is.
Dude, are you wearing the same
Bryan
outfit?
Mccall.
Was that today?
I got
You are
blue in
wearing –
this
is that the
one.
same shirt?
I got blue in this one. No. Let's see.
Oh, my God, dude.
No. That's white stripes. Whenever, like, I'm talking to who I believe are important people, I've always, when I was in suits, I always wore a red tie. Now, I don't do ties. I don't do
Power move.
I do
Power
red
move.
shirts. So for the most part, I don't know if you picked up on this, but almost every episode that I taped for you, I try to either have a red or a bright orange shirt on. Always. So.
Well, that was one of my questions because, the glasses tie in nicely as well.
Yeah.
And they're very prolific in much of your content. So.
Oh, yeah. I kind of become, a little bit of a different person. You'll love this at my kids' school. I go into classrooms. I go into events. Hell, it could even be dark in the theater and I'm watching a play. I've got the glasses on. I always kept that persona going for at least the first 14 years of their life. And so people would say,
What are you, T-Pain?
where's your dad? Yeah, exactly right. I bring the pain.
By the way, could I just get one of those voice modulator things that he has for the podcast?
That'd be so
and
sick.
every now and again I could push the button.
So T-Pain came out with a microphone that would change your voice into the modulation that T-Pain does.
That's exactly right.
I think I've got 2 of them. If I can find them again, Dave, I'll send you one. Because I've
already bought it on Amazon.
While we were talking.
It'll be done. Yeah, I'll have it before you can even think about looking for it.
And
I mean, that's the way it is down here, man. You order it from Amazon, you have it in like seriously. We went through this major freezer clean out defrost for our deep freeze in our garage over the weekend.
Yeah.
And I ordered all of the bins that I was going to use to organize all the frozen stuff we had.
Yeah.
Started the project at 10:15. Bins arrived at 2:00.
Jeez.
Wrapped everything up and was done. I mean, we have so much Amazon down here; it's insane.
Well, yeah,
That being
smart strategy. They're putting all their distribution centers really close to the most active areas.
and they're also taking over the world.
Yeah. I will say this: Walmart the other day. Don't ask me why, but I ordered 9 pairs of scissors. Kick-ass scissors, by the way. Had a bottle opener and a can opener. Anyway, gave it to my family and everything. I was like, you can never have too many scissors. Ordered it on Walmart. I'm a Walmart Plus person. I got it within 4 hours. They're trying to show they're never going to keep up with Amazon. Amazon's a force to be reckoned with. But the guy calls my personal number and says, "What's your gate code? I'm here with your scissors." I'm like, "What? I just ordered like 4 hours ago." And then of course, Dave, what did I do? I ran through the yard with scissors, man.
Man, God. Every time. I have a feeling that's like not the worst thing you've ever done.
Yeah, right. Which, you said clean up, your area, Of course, what's in the background, my airsoft. I just got my new airsoft gun.
Nice.
I don't know if you can see that.
What do you do with that, actually?
Oh, dude, shoot the shit out of people. That's what you do.
Well, I mean, that's what my kids do. I just didn't know, like, if you had
I used to shoot
problem
ducks.
with raccoons or cats or.
Yeah. No. With this one,
Ducks would come shit in my yard in St. Pete, so I'd shoot them with my airsoft gun.
They're the
And my
worst.
neighbor would feed them, so they would just stuck
of
around.
course, I had it customized. You would think I would have customized it red, but I was
you would
really
think.
filling the blue ice.
Well, it does. That's very difficult to mistake for a real gun. It's a little less realistic looking, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100 times less realistic looking, yeah.
Then the black ones, they used to have straight black, and all they had was the orange tip on them. And if you broke that off, it looked.
I have a
regular
CO2
AK or an AR-15.
I have a CO2 pistol. It just looks just like a Glock. There's nothing orange anything on it. It's all black.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they come from the factory with the orange tip, and then you take a set screw, and then it's off. So, but yeah,
Well,
man.
listen, man, let's get down to
Brass tacks.
business as much as we possibly
Sure.
can. Why the Protege? Why did you decide to throw your hat in the ring?
Well, it all goes back to I was at a Better Agency meeting in Arizona, and you were one of the speakers. And you were kind enough to hand out some books. I thought you had handed me a book and signed it over to me, but I got Chris's book, whoever Chris was. But anyway, loved it, read it, thought that all the material you put in there was very useful. And somehow when I was going to Innovation in November, I ran across that you were doing this Protege, and I hadn't heard about it before because, as I told Sean, I was staying away from social media. And what I did was took my kids trick-or-treating Halloween night, came back to the office and recorded, took about 2-3 hours, recorded that little clip that I sent you and kicked it over to you at like 3 in the morning, November 1st, and crossed my fingers that you'd like what you saw and just see if, what I could actually get out of it. Like I said, personal lines, for the most part, throw $1 out on the street, someone's going to pick it up, right? With commercial lines, it's a whole different beast. I mean, you've got to prove your chops to these guys inside and out and be there where no one else is going to, be there for them and show, how you deliver a really distinct value proposition that's above everybody else. And so it's one of those things, like I know so many people think that it's just as easy to lose commercial business, but if you're doing the right things, you're always going to have them. So really, not to butter you up, Dave, but you were kind of the reason I got into this, So that's why I love that everything you said in the book was about go for the kill shot, and really I kind of wanted to see what your ecosystem. By the way, if no one knows what the term for ecosystem is, every time I say ecosystem, you have to take a shot. Because I was teasing Dave on the last one that I did. I think I said ecosystem like 13, 14 times, something like that. So
it's a lot of times.
Anyway.
It's a lot of
That's
shots.
a lot of times, right? That's
a lot of shots.
A lot of shots. So, but
in college we used to do a shot every time they dropped the F-bomb in Goodfellas, and everybody was blasting
15 minutes in.
15
Yeah,
minutes into
exactly.
The movie.
Peace out, Paul Sorvino. Like all the gangsters are dying these days.
What's the deal, man?
I don't know. I
feel like there's a conspiracy theory. Were they involved in investments with the Clintons or anything that we're not aware of? Or
exactly.
Maybe they got to view Hunter Biden's laptop. I don't know.
There's no telling, man.
Who knows?
But, yeah, it's crazy.
It's all conjecture at this point, Dave. All conjecture. So
100%. You've got Paulie. You've got
Dude,
Paulie
Walnuts, man.
You've got Ray Liotta, and you got James Conn.
Yeah,
right?
but Ray Liotta
Those are
was the
4 big
heartbreaker
ones.
because, I feel like, the DR killed him, because like we had a trip playing the Dominican Republic, And then everybody was dropping like flies because they were drinking drinks out of their minibar. Now,
Yeah.
agreeing that
I was there like a month after that happened.
Oh, well, I guess you didn't drink from the minibar then, did you, Kyle?
I couldn't figure out how to open it.
Screwdriver works every time. Gotta tell you.
I was like, this stupid
gets
this
around that.
door is stuck. And then
You'll love this, right?
Then I just went to the bar and got absolutely
I stayed at
annihilated.
one fancy hotel one time. I can't remember which one it was. I guess if I plugged them here, I'd get a free stay, but I don't want to do that. But I had brought a bunch of beer and alcohol that I wanted refrigerated, so I took all their stuff out and put my stuff in so it would be, nice and cold because they had it full. And I went to check out and like, oh yeah, your bill is such and such. It was like an extra $1,200.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's all weighted.
yes, the weight sensors in the fridge. And this is like, I don't know, 2001, 2002. And I was like, what the hell? Like, yeah, Mr. McCall, you drank all the alcohol we had given you in the room. I was like, no, I didn't. It's all back there. Go look, But if it's gone for a certain amount of time, so I learned my lesson with minibars early on. So, but yeah, Dave, I've enjoyed every step of this process. I don't know if that's shown on camera. It's just, I want more. The whole time I was like, give me more, man. Give me more. Like, you kept throwing curveballs, like, great. I said you're in the program. Now you got to sell yourself to the judges. Let's do it, man. Let me do a video for the judges, hell, I'll do a video for the audience 5 or 6 times over, So a lot of it was for you, but also I wanted everybody to know how much fun this can be. Going through this process, seeing what's out there for commercial, and really for me, I know this is going to seem like a stretch, stepping outside of your comfort zone, because commercial was not in my wheelhouse. Like I said, I was licensed, but it wasn't something that came naturally to me. And so I feel like
I think middle market commercial is the great equalizer. I honestly do, man. I don't care what size your set of stones is. If you're going into an account in the middle market where you know that you could make $50,000, $100,000 in commissions, ain't nobody got ice water running through their veins at that point. Like, and if they don't, then I want to be that guy because I want to know what he's selling that 100,000 or 50,000 or even 25,000 doesn't get him amped up anymore.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's the thing. We were talking about it earlier today. You listen to the podcast and we've got all the answers right. We know all the tricks. But I had to go to an appointment last Thursday for an account that I've represented for almost 20 years because the CFO that I've dealt with for almost 20 years retired.
Wow. Yeah.
And, I've had a great relationship with them. They've always been very well taken care of. I mean, they had a claim where they dropped a flight simulator in an Air Force base and $186,000 claim, which if you know anything at all about simulators, that's like replacing your shoelaces in a set of Air Force Ones for $186,000. Like the mirrors are $100,000 a piece. And they dropped it. 48 hours, Chubb had the claim paid. I've never seen anything like it. And so they were always they've always been a great account, but I would also be completely untruthful if I didn't say I was somewhat nervous going out there because I didn't know how the meeting was going to go. I'm thinking, yeah, I've done everything right, but at the end of the day, I don't have a relationship with this guy. He has no clue who I am.
Right.
It was interesting because when he brought me in, the CEO was in there, and I've only dealt with the CEO on very rare occasions over the years, and this is a new one that I had no relationship with. They brought a couple of the IT people in so we could specifically talk about their cyber strategy, but they brought another VP in, and he was actually one of 2 guys, the old CFO being the other one, that worked with me when I originally brought the account on. And this account has followed me to from the original agency to the next one to Florida Risk. Every time my non-compete was up, I would just go back and AOR it to the new agency. And so that guy was in there. And I hadn't seen him. I hadn't seen him since I wrote the account. And he introduced himself, and I was like, you don't need to introduce yourself to me, man. I know who you are. I've represented you guys forever. I mean, I've got a good memory. And I said, and I'll never forget you as long as I live.
Right.
He said, why do you say that? I said, because you guys were kind enough to wait until 4:45 on Christmas Eve in 2008 to give me the bind order to represent.
Wow.
And you never forget somebody who holds you at the office till 4:45 on Christmas Eve. And he just looked at me. I said, "I'm busting your chops, man. I worked till 7 that night. I'm just kidding." But
yeah, my kids,
I'll
didn't get a Christmas, but it's okay. It's all right.
No kidding. So let me ask you this, man. You're going through Protege. What do you think the biggest surprise was for you? Like, what surprised you about the process?
And this is not to put anybody down, how many people thought that you were going to hold their hand through the whole process? That was the biggest surprise to me. You know, when I heard some of your feedback, like, I just don't give people all the answers. I knew there was going to be a lot of work on my part, and honestly, it was a lot more than what I thought, which I can now understand. I wouldn't do it, but I can now understand why some people might bow out, because it's a lot of work, a lot of pressure. But
hey, guess what? So is real life.
Yeah, I mean, hell, like today with the car.
I don't know of a job where somebody else can do all of the work for you, but you go collect the commissions, right? Like that job doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
what kind of training that's effective, like, isn't gonna be like the game? I mean,
Oh,
like,
dude,
like
and I love being thrown out in the deep end. That's how I learned how to swim. I was either going to drown that day or a shark was going to eat me, right? One of the two.
I went to swimming lessons.
But actually swam shore. But that was the biggest surprise, I think. And the other thing was the honesty too that you provided. I've got thick skin. Some people don't, but it really helped me change the way that I thought about things. Because I mean, let's face it, right? When you get to a certain age and you get to a place in your career, you listen to people maybe about that much, right? Well, I was all in for this. My ears were wide open, and I was very receptive to everything that you were, bringing out, and it humbled me quite a bit, if you can believe that. And I'm better for it. Like, even I know what you said early on, because I didn't quite get right I wanted to make it entertaining, but also show you that I knew the stuff. And you're like, Bryan, just settle down. You don't have to just like make me laugh at like everything you submit. I remember you couldn't use like the first 3 because I was just like, having a good time with it. But then I settled down and realized, what I
Bryan wasn't aware of like copywriting notifications and things like that on YouTube. So I think it was one of his first couple videos was literally him with some 80s song playing in the background and the Victoria's Secret lingerie show on the screen behind him, intentionally placed so that you could see it.
I had it timed out, and
I'll never forget. I'm looking at that, and I'm thinking to myself, who's this guy? Like, what's this dude doing, man? Like, there's very few people in this world that, like, I could just say their name and people are like, yep, I get it. Bryan Mccall is one of them. I literally just put on my Facebook profile a picture of the screenshot, and I put on there, if you know, no caption necessary. And here you go. Comments are already coming. Jim Stout, oh my, Ciara has graphics on it. It's just like, it's coming, man. But I mean, I think the thing is I mean no disrespect to anybody. I think I did a really good job of being respectful in my feedback when I talk to people. I did shoot straight. I am direct. Everybody was warned about that at the very onset. And I told them, I'm like, look, have thick skin, understand, I'm going to be direct, I'm going to give you feedback. As long as you know that my heart is in the right place and that I'm giving you something that's going to make you better, then you're going to be able to swallow it. But if you don't have thick skin, you might get offended at my feedback. I don't know what else to tell them. You know what I mean? I come with a warning label, and I know what that warning label should read, and I told them that. So, I think that's the one thing. But I think really what differentiates the people that were successful versus the people who weren't as successful, because I do feel like every single person who saw it through to being in the top 12 learned a ton through the process, unarguably, right? But I think the biggest difference is there's 2 things. Number one, some of the people just don't have the experience, man. And I was talking with Andy Warner about this yesterday. So I want to clear the air about a couple of things. Number one, everybody won. Okay? Everybody has already won. Because even the people who didn't make it to the top 8 and have a chance to win the grand prize, I still gave every one of those people 6 months worth of one-on-one coaching every other week for free.
That's awesome.
Okay? So those people have the ability to go out, get better. I'll invest the time in them. And guess what? They may not want it, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. But I had a call yesterday with Andy Warner, and I told Andy, I said, listen, it is very difficult to put something like this together and, number one, remain objective. It's the closest thing to being a judge I will ever have, because there are people in the competition that, honestly, I don't like. And I have to get past that, right? I'm objective. I mean, if I wanted to be a jerk, I would have never let them in to begin with.
Yep.
But they were the best candidate, and there were times I just, for whatever reason, that doesn't mean they're a bad person. We're not clicking. You're not hearing you're not picking up what I'm dropping. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But the thing that I told Andy was, I have to look at the body of work as a whole, and then I have to think to myself, how successful is this person going to be if I push them through? Do they have a realistic shot of winning the whole thing? Are they going to be able to produce? And I told him, I said, listen, man, I said, you are brand new to this industry. And I honestly was thinking more of you than me when I didn't put you into the top 8, because the last thing I want to do to anybody is put them in there and just have, and I'm not saying you would have gotten your plow cleaned, but you'd have gotten your plow cleaned. You're not ready for that yet. So I'd rather gracefully excuse you, help you get to where you need to be. And I said, listen, I can tell you right now, if you or Lugo, both from the same agency, were to come back next year, you'd have the ability to win the whole thing. Because you have a lot more experience under your belt at this point. Mm-hmm. But when you look at everybody, the people that made it through are really the more seasoned salespeople that have been in the industry longer. And the 4 people that I had to cut haven't. And it really came down to that. I didn't want anybody to look bad if they got to the production round and they had goose eggs, right? And now I'm gonna tell you right now.
I was just gonna say, and Lugo, and Warner, I'm gonna die way before you guys anyway. So you won, you won.
There you go. Yeah, I look at it though, like Jason Webb was in the production round in season 1, right? But he didn't make it to the top 3. Right. He is absolutely crushing it right now. Mm-hmm. Absolutely crushing it in Minnesota. And I know that. I can tell by his social presence. And he's even told me, he's like, oh, yeah, I got an AOR on this. Every once in a while, he'll pop in and say, just pick this up, just pick that up. And I keep track of it. But well over six figures of revenue since he left, right?
All about
to come on and be in a show. But I think the biggest thing that delineated everybody in their body of work for the entire time is the people who realized very quickly that I wasn't playing around. Like, this is a real deal, and it's not like you're in a game show trying to win something. You're getting challenged to put together a body of work that you can then I'm not saying body of work again in this entire
hang on.
episode. I've said it like 5 times now.
I'll drink to that. Yeah, okay.
But you take this stuff and you make it what you're going to use on the streets. Like, you're basically getting good feedback on building your platform in which you're going to produce for the rest of your career. The people who think it's a show and they're just pencil whipping the submissions to get stuff in, they're never going to make it, because I can see right through that, right? But the people who took this serious and were the most consistent across the board, and by the way, I'm not saying that the other people that didn't make the top 8 weren't serious. I'm just saying in general. Over 2 seasons of the Protege, the people who have been the most serious and realized, look, I'm going to take this thing and own it and run with it. I'm going to build my business around it, and I might as well get all the free feedback from David and my coaches and all of I brought guests in last year and everything else. You're not going to get that anywhere else. So those people that took it seriously, it might be 3 years from now, but they're going to be really successful with the base foundation they've built.
No doubt.
Period. So that's why I say everybody won no matter what. I mean, certainly there's bragging rights if you win the production round, but it still has to go to the popular vote, right?
Yeah. And we know how fickle.
So it's going to be interesting to see, man. Everybody's out kind of producing a little bit.
But yeah, no.
Everybody's out in the real world kind of producing right now anyhow. So like it's, and I say kind of because nobody's lighting it up yet, but it was also the first month. Usually what I see is months 2 and 3, it's gonna go up. And I'll be real interested to see what those numbers look like. But I mean that's the biggest thing I think that separates everybody across the board is you're either bought in or you're not. And for people who aren't bought in, I'd rather them just not apply or drop out as quickly as possible because you're wasting everybody's time.
And that's why what I realized early on is, you probably thought I was just here to entertain you, and that's not me, but that's kind of...
No, your work product had very good substance.
And I appreciate that, but my persona is that, I want to dazzle people. I want them to look, deeper within me and say that, I'm not just another suit, even though I don't wear suits anymore, out there. I want them to see that there's some real substance, and I can talk the talk and walk the walk with them every step of the way. But yeah, I mean, Dave, you had a stellar group of people, and I want to give a big shout out to Andy Warner because he was one of my teammates. Love that guy. Who else would go after the religious, the church market? I mean, my God, that's a tough row to hoe right there, and he's going to be successful with it. He really is, and
he will because he came from that background, and he's working on another niche that we talked about specifically yesterday that he's going to try and get up and running. And I mean that's the thing, man.
And
it's no different than the job itself. You put yourself out there and you sell or you don't. There's not really a bunch of gray area.
I'll even throw the dark horse out there. Kevin, is it Leipzig, out of California?
Oh,
guys, fantastic. The guy came in with no knowledge whatsoever, and he's crushing it. And then he comes back, and big shout out to you, Kev, because he came back to us and said, hey, guys, here's some of the things I was using early on in the process I want to share with you guys now just to help you, monitor your outgoing emails, incoming emails, response rates. Love that. Who else shares stuff like that? And even with you, Dave, even though I know you have no decision in the process, the final decision, it's all public and whatnot. I mean, there's no one else out there right now that's doing what you're doing. Think about it. There's nobody out there that's offering people off the street from any state, coming from any background to come out and compete in a commercial contest like this. So kudos to you for having the brainchild to begin with and really making this into something because it's going to live long past, the day that you're not with us anymore. That. This is...
Well, I'll tell you, man, it started out... It started out as a night with college buddies watching Goodfellas. And,
as most things do.
15 minutes in.
Yeah.
So how's it going on the streets, man? I mean, you built your mousetrap. How's it working for you out in the real world at this point?
Yeah, slow and steady. I was just talking with my coaches again. Sedlak, who just closed on the Popeye. Yeah.
Did he show you that?
Yeah, the Popeye. Actually, the town in Illinois is like the Popeye town, right? And he's got the card from the mayor there.
Yeah.
And it's slow and steady.
He took a picture of it and sent it on
text.
I
think the biggest month that's going to pop is definitely going to be August at this point because June was a little slower. July, they're coming back around. I've just got to make sure that, I make the best first impression. And that first meeting just knocks their socks off so I get to the right people. But I know you had set a goal. I think you said that the top 3 would probably be in the $100,000 range. I'm trying to push that 70 to 80. So I hope that's enough. So if not...
Yeah, I'm going to adjust that, man. I think if you hit 50, you'll be in the top 3.
Okay, because it's looking like 70.
But here's the thing. Oh, and listen, by the way, for all of you who just 50, why would he settle for that? Take 50 and multiply it by 4, and then tell me the last time you wrote $200,000 in revenue annualized. End of story.
Yeah. It's a grind. So just putting all the field, and that's like when I had the car trouble today. I was like, holy crap, what the hell am I gonna? I was like calling every rental place I could find to make sure I had a vehicle for the next 6 weeks to make sure that I wanted to get out and see people that didn't want to do the video or the live presence because.
You should get a Segway and just go to industrial parks riding a Segway around with your orange sunglasses.
That shit up.
Just mount your T-shirt cannon to the front, blasting people with RiskSucks.com T-shirts from the parking lot.
Well, I still have the balance. What's the little balance button?
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Well, my kids, I got them 2 of those what is the balance board that they used to ride, the 2-wheeler?
The Rips
hoverboard. Yeah, hoverboard.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 2 hoverboards, so I'll keep one charge for the morning routine and one charge for the afternoon routine. And I'll send you the video of me shooting the cannon on the hoverboard.
You know what else you could do? See, there's certain people that can pull certain things off and then others that can't. I think it would be an awesome first appointment strategy for you to walk in and just take requests for making balloon animals in the lobby. I think that would be fantastic. Like, I mean, if I could make balloon animals, I'd just go in with, like, blue and yellow balloons and make them whatever they want, Or it would
I've got one better. There's the guy who used to go around the Chuck E. Cheese's.
Or just only know how to make one thing.
Make
only
me
know
a
how to make
bicycle
one
clown.
thing, and no matter what they ask you for, that's what,
So, what would you like, kids? I would like a pony. Okay, here you go. Snake. What would you like, son? I'd like a dog. Snake. Next.
Yeah.
Hey, but I got one better. I was in a CC's before the pandemic, and there was a guy going around making balloon animals. I'll just hire him.
There's no excuse
Take
for
him
that.
with me, man. Boom, shakalaka. 100%. Love that. Dude, another great idea. I love that. That's where you want to be different, And then I'll go right off into the sunset shooting the T-shirts towards him.
That's it. I mean, you were like an all-in-one entertainment module that shows up.
I was just thinking last night
about insurance and risk
just to keep the staff kind of engaged with the regular personal lines, because they're like, oh, y'all you talking about is commercial now, commercial. And I was thinking, in my sleep last night, I just went across the street, guys having an estate sale about one of those long green putting greens, that you roll out. And I'm going to do like a little ad, putt for your prize. I'll have like all these different prizes. All right, your prize, a can of spaghetti and meatballs. Oh, you want to putt again? Putt again. Let's see what you get. Gas cards, stainless steel tumblers, stuff like that. Putt for your prize. Registered trademark. Don't steal it from me. But anyway, just like risksucks.com.
There you go.
But that's awesome.
There you go.
Have you heard of anybody going in with balloon animals?
No.
Oh, it's gold. Absolute gold. Absolute gold. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, and then the thing is, if you hit objection with it, you say, obviously you don't want a clown in your lobby. I'm a trained insurance professional. I'm here to talk to you about why your experience mod is a 1.7 now that I have your attention.
Take those home to your kids.
Are you happy that you're paying 70% more than your peers?
Or
just roll right
or
into
even better, like you come in with like a sock puppet. Let's ask Mr. Sock Puppet. What does he think about that? Remember, there used to be a commercial on TV. The company was all about that Mr. Sock Puppet. I can't remember it now, but you remember it.
I forgot. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't remember what was that lady's name? It was Carol.
Oh yeah, Carol Channing.
Like, that's what she was known.
They had this sock.
Is that her name?
I sock puppet.
I just remember she was. Yeah, she was huge around the same time as.
Lamb chop. Lamb chop.
Lamb chop. That's
Lamb
right.
chop. Yeah.
Commercial. Yeah, there was somebody who before the gecko, they had a sock puppet as their pets.com.
Dude, my favorite Geico commercials are the cavemen.
Oh.
Like when they make the comment and the cavemen get offended by it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. The cavemen commercials were all
They
great. I like the Jack Link Sasquatch commercials.
Yes. So
I have an affinity to the anthropoid apes.
Here's the sock puppet for all those people out there who didn't know what I was. God, my camera's terrible.
It's just very, very bright.
There he is. It looks like a bit of a Dalmatian type species.
Terrible. But my favorite was whenever we were in business meetings and someone would say something and it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, I'm just an unfrozen caveman lawyer, and your sense of reasoning makes no sense to me. So, from Saturday Night Live, have you ever seen Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer?
Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer, Phil Hartman.
Classic.
Dude, I can go 80s and early 90s Saturday Night Live with you all day long.
You're gonna pump me up, man. I gotta tell you, man.
Those were the best years. Well, listen, let me ask you this as we wrap up, man, because I want to make sure that we're respectful of your time and we stay on task. There's going to be right now I've not talked myself out of doing season 3. So what advice would you give somebody who's sitting out there saying, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't? Why? What would you tell them?
You never know till you try. So, what's the saying?
Tell that to my wife all the time.
Hey, let's try this.
Usually it has to do with cooking, Brian. I'm not exactly sure where your head was.
Well, there's olive oil involved with it, by the way. But anyway. So this is what I would say to them. Things that come easy never last. Things that last never come easy. And if they will get outside of their comfort.
I have to go.
What?
Hey, in Oklahoma, people, they call him Yoda for a reason.
But you know what? Just step outside your comfort zone.
Understand him, I do.
You know, being on camera, I got to tell you, inspired me. I'm going back to the gym now because I saw what I looked like on camera, and I was like, oh, good Lord, man. Now, I'm not quite there
down
yet,
18
but,
right now. I said, I'm down 18 right now. I got the all clear from the doc, so I haven't pushed my heart rate too much on the Peloton or the Peloton tread, but that's starting next week. So hopefully I can get that ramped up because I've got a goal to hit by September 1.
Well, and I'm going to throw a bold projection out there, too, for everybody who goes to our Facebook, Sand Springs Agency in the fall by late October. I want them, they're going to see a skinnier version of me because I actually do have dimples, believe it or not. They're here underneath these
you're going to have to buy a bunch of new insurance, man.
Or just shave my hair even closer, you know? So it looks like I'm fitter.
That's how I keep the white out of mine. Otherwise, I do look like Polly Walnuts.
But no, what I'd say to anybody is go for it, man. I went for it. I couldn't be happier. You know, early on, I didn't know if I'd even be near the, you know, final 12, final 6, final 3, whatever. You know, it was a process that I feel very fortunate to be able to go through and not to, you know, blow your head up at all, Dave. I just think there's nothing else out there like this, and you're going to get a lot out of it. Whatever you put into it, you're going to get a lot out of it, and I'm very thankful. So, and I know you've got a great group around Killing Commercial. So, if somebody doesn't want to go through this process, hey, the cop out is going to Killing Commercial because, you know, you are going to hold their hand there. You're going to tell them exactly.
Listen, man. Joseph Bustos figured that out real quick in season 1. He was like 4 episodes in. It's like, screw it. Why do I need to do all the work? I'm just going to join.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
and they did. Like, he just said, you know what? I'm not going to delay the rest of my career. I could go through this and wait until he announces the winner. It might be 6 or 8 months. Screw it. I'm just going to join.
I got a little change in my pocket. Here
got
we
his
go.
agency.
Let's wind it up.
He had his agency principal pay for it. Joseph's a closer. So his agency principal bought in and did the deal. And it's worked out pretty well for him. Well, listen, man, I appreciate it.
I was just going to say, my ultimate goal is to become a permanent part of your Killing Commercial group, by the way. So that's my ultimate goal. I want to be a part of that. And if I can help anybody else, whether they want to be mentored by me or not, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But if you like to drink, I'm telling you, it's going to be a good time. But, you know.
If you like to drink and have T-shirt cannons in your possession.
Exactly. But it's been a fun ride,
Saturday
Dave.
night.
I've loved it. And, Kyle, I'm glad you could be here for the very end.
Me too.
So it's really, really helpful. Yeah.
So listen, this is the funny part. We were going to say this, and then we never did. So Brian texts me and tells me he's in town because it was your daughter that was going to UT?
Yeah, she was thinking about it. Right. We're doing the whole trip around.
Thinking about going to university. Yeah, thinking about doing UT, right? So he texts me and says, hey, I'd love to come by and see you, whatever else. And I'm like, crap. Like, this is like the worst week possible for somebody to reach out to me. I don't remember. I think Annie may have been gone. I had to be at an appointment like somewhere or whatever for one of the kids' health or something. And so when I sent him the message back, this is who Bryan Mccall is, in case you guys haven't figured it out yet. I meant to tell him I only had about 30. If it was going to work, I would only have about 30 minutes at 3 o'clock, but I would let him know. How the message ended up coming out due to my fat thumbs was I'll only have 3 minutes at about 3 o'clock, but I'll let you know. Hey, my guy was happy with 3. He showed up at 3 o'clock. I wasn't here. I had never gotten back to him, so shame on me for that. But shows up for a 3-minute meeting and hangs out with Abby in I think Grayson may have been here at the same time.
Yeah, good.
And they're like, this dude came in and he just like walked into your office and was like, wow, this is pretty cool. This is a neat setup or whatever. They had no clue who this guy was walking around. And he texted me and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. I'm trying to get back. It was a dermatology appointment for Caroline is exactly what it was. And she had a wart on her hand she had to have burnt off. And that's not an appointment Mommy takes her to. I have to be the one. So
there's a setup, everybody. I was actually there. I had to see the man behind the curtain who was pulling the levers.
That's the nerve center.
That is the nerve center.
That's the nerve center.
But they were so nice. And
that thing goes.
Best part, you didn't even say the best part yet, was you said, hey, are you still there? And, how did you say it? I can come back or something. So I thought you were on your way back. I had left. And I got to look at that real quick. That was so funny, Dave. And I thought you...
It was such a horrible miscommunication that I'm glad you found it humorous because I was mortified.
Let's see. God, that was so funny. What did I say? Let's see. And then I thought you were coming.
Well, while you're looking for it, I will tell you this, man. You have an open invite to come back
That's
anytime.
Awesome.
You just need to give me a little bit of notice, and I'll make sure that I'm available.
Yeah, no worries. It was, what did he say? I can't even get to it now. But anyway, you had said something like, hey, you're going to be there very long. This appointment might not take too long. And I thought you were turning around and coming back and go, no, dude, I just got to the appointment. I'm not coming back. I'm like, okay, no worries. I'm heading out. But, good reason for my daughter to pick UT.
Yeah, I think what I said was, are you still there? I'm right down the road is what I said, because I literally was only 2 stoplights away from you at the dermatologist's office, but I had just gotten called back. I was hoping if you were there, we were only going to be there a couple minutes and I could rush back and see you, but it didn't work out. That just means the next visit's going to be better. In any event, it is time for us to wrap it up. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the one, the only, the balloon animal making, T-shirt shooting, Victoria's Secret watching, cheetah print pillow having Mr. Bryan Mccall from the Protege Season 2. I can't tell you to vote for the guy, but he can. Who wouldn't want to vote for that face right there?
You've been listening to the Power Producers Podcast. You can follow Killing Commercial Insurance on Facebook and YouTube. And if you want to take your game to the next level, check out our book, The Extra 2 Minutes, and our website, killingcommercial.com.